Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 203 of a year of change. This week, as things come to a grinding halt, our main goal this week has been to look at sugar, and I'm pretty sure mine are fucked. When I did my quick little measurement yesterday, when I said, oh, well, here's where I'm at, I forgot that was the last 7 days. So I still had, actually, Thursday I think it was. When was it? Thursday? Friday? One of those days anyway. I think it was early Friday, which would have been yesterday. Yeah, anyway. It's sort of a running total for the past 7 days, so we're going to take a look and see what happened there. A couple things, though, this week that, I guess the main thing that I wanted to sort of talk about was I've been continuing on my treadmill. I've been doing a 5K every day, just walking, not a running thing. But every 13 minutes, then I jog for 1 minute, and then I walk for 13 and jog for 1, and you know what I'm progressing as. And then next week, I'm starting in on every 12 minutes and going from there. One thing I've noticed, though, is that, and at first it sort of worried me, because there was a pain in my back. Now, I talked about this before, that a few years ago I had a really serious back injury. It's more of a muscle, disky, pokey, pulley-outy thing. And it ruptured a disc in my spine, and I was on my back for months, and I couldn't walk, I couldn't shower, I couldn't do anything, which is really gross, because you smell very bad even when you're not moving. And every now and then it flares up, and I wake up and literally can't walk. So usually I can, if I feel something, then I can go to bed for 2 or 3 days and lay down and, just start pumping medicine into me, and usually it evens itself out. So originally I sort of thought this was going to be that because, but it's in a different spot. Normally the back pain that I have is in my lower back, and it's in the same spot every time, and it's terrifying when it happens because I know what I'm in store for. It's a tremendous amount of pain. No matter what you take for it, you're always in a tremendous amount of pain. So with this, it was a little bit different because it feels like if this is your back, then it feels like it's not radiating, but there's like two long, twangy muscle things down my back, and that's what it felt like. So at first, when I started feeling it, I was going, is this going to hurt? And then I realized, no, it's in a different spot. And it dawned on me that it was sort of the same feeling I was getting when I started, when I originally was doing the treadmill, and I kept upping the incline and everything else. I found I was sort of hunched forward when I was walking, and I think it might be that I find, like, when I'm walking, I'm just sort of getting hunched over instead of standing up straight, so I think it just might be that. But I also have dumbbell. Oh, I should grab one. I'm going to go to frame for a second. Hey! Okay, I'm still here. Don't worry. I'm still here. It's okay. And we're back. Hello. So, anyway, I also have these when I'm on the treadmill. Basically, all that they do, it's just so that when I'm walking along, because part of the cardiovascular thing is, obviously you want to lose weight and stuff like that. But there's that part of me thinking, I should probably do some other exercise as well. So I'm starting out super, super small. This is actually the second set that I had. I have a smaller one on this as well. And I mean, this isn't, a tremendous amount of weight, obviously. So all that I do is that every now and then I'll just go do as I'm walking. And it does sort of add a little bit to it. It helps a little bit. But what I find with this, I'm going to drop this here. Sorry to my downstairs neighbors. What I find with that is I think that's the reason why my back is doing what it's doing. So I actually stopped doing that this week just to sort of give myself a bit of a rest, because I think as I'm walking and I'm doing that, then I'm not like positioned properly. My posture isn't as as good as it should be, or as the way it should be. And I think that's what I'm doing, is that because I'm twisting and turning and walking and everything else. Probably not the safest thing to do on a treadmill either. But I'm thinking that, because of that might be contributing to it. It might also just be the fact that when I'm doing that, I'm using my back muscles, which have never been used for anything before. So it isn't a sharp pain. It isn't really, a tearing pain. It isn't a bad pain. It's just one of those things that I find, that sounds weird. It's one of those things that I found that it's probably just because it's telling me, no, these have been used for something. And it's that soreness, but it's It's not just a soreness. It's a little bit more, but in between sore and pain, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so I think that's pretty much why that is the way it is, and where I've stopped doing this just for this week. I'm still doing the treadmill. I'm just not doing the weighty things on the treadmill, and I probably should be doing them separately anyway. This is the problem when you're doing stuff on your own and you're not looking things up first. I can probably look it up and go, oh, you should never do this because you'll tear out your anus or something. Or blow out your anus. You tear it out. It just sounds like someone's grabbing it. And anyway, here's a horrible image for you. Enjoy that one. So I think that might be part of it because my back is feeling much, much better at the end of this week after me not doing that for a week. So I think that's probably it. So if you're going to do something that you're going to combine weights with walking or whatever you decide to do for your exercise, don't do them at the same time because that's probably stupid and it's probably going to cause you some pain. So there you go. Nice little bit of practical advice for you. I'm going to continue on with my treadmill. I don't want to stop doing that because it is getting better. I find I can actually jog for more than a minute. But I want to sort of stay on track the way I'm going because I know it's working. I still feel like it's not enough, and I whine about this all the time, but it is working, so I'm going to keep on with that. So aside from that, everything is good. But my sugar level, this week, well, there's a couple of things reason why I'm not going to make it. One, I added my numbers wrong yesterday, so I had 2 days. Like I have all day today as well. So I go Saturday or Sunday to Saturday, so I'll have a much better idea tomorrow what my sugars are. I'd like to say that it's because I've eaten a tremendous amount of fruit. That's not exactly true. I've had pretty much the same amount of fruit and vegetables that I always do, but I've also what do you call them? Jujubes. There we go. Couldn't remember the name of them. I also bought jujubes. Now here's the weird thing. And I do this all the time. I buy them, take them to work, and then I don't eat them because I go, I know I shouldn't. So, you'll be happy to know that, well, actually, throughout the course of an 8-hour day, because I tallied everything up, out of the entire bag, I've had 20, and the rest I've given away to work. And I keep buying them, and I keep giving them away because I just feel like I should not be doing it. 20 jujubes, though, is still a tremendous amount of sugar. I can guarantee you that's going to probably put me over. Because there's probably half a teaspoon of sugar in each one. And this is the worst week for me to do this. And I know it's horrible because some of you are sitting there going, I'm watching what I'm doing and you're buying fucking candy? I know. Which is why I didn't continue on. So, that might be part of it as well. But this is a long weekend for me as well. Thanksgiving is on Monday, which we will talk about on Monday, actually, as well, with holiday stuff. But I know that during the holidays and stuff like this, it's a little bit different here in Canada. We don't go all out the way that they do in America. It's not like a second Christmas for us. It's mainly just everyone gets together and pigs out, and then that's pretty much it. That's it. And some of us don't even get together with family. I'm one of them. Monday will just be another day for me. But it is a long weekend. I'm planning on trying to get some stuff done, but I highly doubt that I will. As per usual, I'm probably just going to do nothing. But I do know that there is part of that that's going to be, I can relax a little bit. And so my sugar and sodium and fat and all that content, probably not going to be where it should be. It's very, very bad, and I know I should be sticking with it all the time. But part of what we're doing is, maintaining that practical aspect of it. Not making excuses, just saying, here's an explanation as to why my sugars are probably not, I'm not going to make it this week. Which is not good. Because if I need to lead by example, if we're going to be doing this together, and for all of you out there that are going, oh, well, I've sacrificed a lot for this week to bring it down 10%, I'm sorry. I am sorry. But we will continue on. Long term, it's still going to be okay. And I know this seems like it's just a video for me to go, by the way, fuck it, I'm not doing anything this week. I'm just going to binge. I'm not going to binge eat. So it'll be fine. That's one thing that I do have a lot of control over, is that, the amount of food that I'm taking in and the type of food I'm taking in, that's not going to change much. It's just that it's one of those things that I'm going, I think I've already buggered up my sugar for the week, unfortunately. But we will take a look, because I did cut back on the amount of coffee as well. There could be that. But I have been tracking other stuff out more accurately. So My numbers originally may have been off, but we're going to assume that they're right, and we're going to go with that because otherwise we just start making excuses. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for this week. There's really not a lot more to update you on. I've been, and I got to stop doing this. I've been sort of doing sneak peeks every couple of days. I need to stop and wait until Saturday or Sunday when I do my weigh-in, because I find that when I'm looking at it, I'm going, I'm not making any progress, and it's getting me discouraged. And I think that's where some of these things are coming from. Just that whiny attitude of this isn't going fast enough. It is. Long term, I know it is in my head, but part of me is still just, it's not doing what I want it to do. So I need to really stop doing that. I should really just be checking in on Sunday, leaving it there and saying good enough and continuing on with what I need to do. So, but yeah, getting back to where I need to be. Starting tomorrow when this week is done now, so I've been doing every 13-minute intervals on the treadmill, and I've only been recording 500 calories worth of it. So next week I'm going to drop down to 12 minutes and only count 400 calories of it. So that way, gradually, bit by bit, I'm going to be just saying, good enough, I've done my treadmill. It doesn't account for any extra calories in there. So that's going to be helpful and, increase the amount I'm actually jogging. And losing the weight is going to be one of those things that it's going to be a little easier on the joints as well. Because, part of the reason why I wouldn't have been able to run, 50 pounds ago was that just the sheer weight is just murder on your joints. It's still very bad. I'm still obese, or still morbidly obese, I believe, if my math is correct. But it's so much easier because my body's used to carrying around an extra 57 pounds, roughly. My body has been so used to carrying around that much weight for so long that, shedding 60 pounds, it's still going, this is great. This is still much less weight. It's okay if you want to run a little bit. So, it's much, much easier. Even the jogging, I find, is easier than the walking was 60 pounds ago. So, there's progress there. So, if I get discouraged, I'll look at that and go, all right, yes, I completely fucked up my sugar for the week, and I do apologize for that. But for now, I'm looking at it going, long term, it'll be okay. We will do it again next week. We'll start again. We had said, some of us may not be able to do it. I should have been able to do it. Should have been able just to sort of cut back on the amount that I've got in there. I actually haven't added all my numbers in, but it's just that gut feeling that I'm going, 20 jujubes alone, I think, is going to put you over for the amount of sugar that's in them. So we'll take a look at that, though, and see where things go from there. And then, of course, frivolities this weekend with friends and family. So not so much food is going to put me over because, again, not really a cakes and cookies kind of person. But going out for drinks and stuff, there's a lot of sugar and alcohol. There's a lot of calories in alcohol. And that's going to throw me over. Which reminds me, I meant to tell you this. So I am. Last night, finished off my week, finished off my day. Everything was great. Had a ton of calories left. And I thought, I'm going to do something bad and not prepare something from scratch. I haven't had pizza in a very, very long time. It's been a very, very long time. So I thought, I'm going to have some pizza. So anyway, had some pizza. Still didn't go over my calories, which was great. That's actually, there's got a lot of sugar in that probably as well. Shit. Yeah, completely screwed everything up this week because I'm just going to have pizza. Idiot. Anyway, didn't go over. Things were fine. Finished the night with, I think, an extra 500 calories left for the day. Thought, this is great. I've done very well all day. I didn't, eat a tremendous amount of pizza. Normally I could pile off a full pizza. Hadn't eaten all day, which is not good. But, just didn't have time to really grab lunch or anything like that. Still had a big chunk of pizza, but not nearly as much as I used to. So anyway, had that. Things were great. Decided, okay, I'm going to call it a night. Went to bed. Everything's fine. 3 hours later, still awake, still thirsty, and still hungry. So I went, you know what, I'm going to go up. I'm going to have, I had a croissant and I had a drink. And then as I'm putting this in, I went, oh, this is going to put me over by quite a bit. So, anyway, yes, I ended up having to go back in and edit my note this morning on MyFitnessPal, going, because when you finish it and it says, oh, and they're well below their calorie goal. Nope. I was at one point. Nope, not anymore. I did end up going over, which is really shitty. So yeah, just sort of a warning to those, because I go like sleep by sleep, not midnight to midnight. I know that we normally started to do midnight to midnight, but I've been going sleep to sleep, just because it's much, much easier for me to do it that way. I still try to get it in there before midnight because the time gets all wonky with it if you don't. But that's what I've been going by. And I mean, I could have technically said, okay, well, I'll put that in for Saturday. It'll be okay. But no, I'm going to keep it in there. That reminded me of something else I was going to say about putting in stuff. I don't know what it was, and I don't have my cheat sheet up, so I can't take a look. Putting in, adding. Oh, that's right. That's what it was. Adding stuff. Over the past couple of weeks, I know that we've been separating everything: breakfast, lunch, dinner, fluids, and snacks. Those have been our 5 main categories that we've been putting stuff in, or whatever you decide to put in, with MyFitnessPal. What I found, though, is that I'm trying to sort of narrow things down a bit, because I know with fluids, it's mainly coffee that I drink. I don't drink a lot of, unless I'm having a drink with someone, then I don't have a lot of pop. I don't have, fruit juice and stuff like that. It's going to be like milk on my cereal, the soy milk, which I bought another batch of. I haven't bought milk since we did the soy thing, because it's really the only thing I use it for is for cereal, and I prefer it. So I bought another thing of soy milk. It lasts forever. It lasts a long, long time. So in the long run, it's going to be cheaper too. Anyway. So it's usually like something like that on my cereal, or I'll put coffee in for fluids and things like that. But then separating out condiments and everything else, where we're sort of at a stage now that we know we're tracking everything. We know roughly where our calories are coming from. So I've started sort of grouping things in so that what I'm having for breakfast, I'm putting everything in there. The milk I'm putting on my cereal isn't going in fluids anymore. It's going in breakfast, so that I can see with a little more accuracy what I'm doing at the beginning of the day, in the middle of the day, and the end of the day. Because I know where a lot of my calories come from. It comes from things like margarine and, not so much my coffees, because I've cut back to 1 sugar on those. There's still cream in there as well. But I know what foods are the bad fats and the high sodium and high sugar. I know where that is now. It's a little easier, so that we don't have to look at graphs and charts and go, well, I'm getting the majority of my calories from my fluids and this and this and this. We've made so many changes that way, where we're eating healthier now, that I think it's safe to do this. For me anyway, it is. You may have done this long ago, and some of you may still want to continue on. It's not a prerequisite. It's not something that prerequisite for anything. It's not a requirement, I should say. It's just that I want to sort of take a look at what I'm eating for breakfast, what I'm eating for lunch, and where my calories just overall are coming from. Because they'll say, well, you can't have it at the end of the day. It's like, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. We're still eating the same number of calories over a 24-hour period, and if you're eating like a huge, big fatty pork chop at the end of the night and then just going to sleep, probably is a little worse for you than if you had that exact same thing first thing in the morning and then did some exercise and burned it off throughout the day. So then I don't know if it has time to convert into other stuff. Anyway, we aren't sure how the body works. Or I'm not anyway. I'm sure other people are. They are called doctors. You can go talk to them. But I'm sort of curious as to where I'm having the majority of my calories. And right now, everything's sort of at the end of the day, which I want to sort of even things out. Plus, if you're having 200 in the morning, 200 in the afternoon, and then 1,200 at night, it's not balanced properly. So I need to balance things out and go like, 4, 6. That's 1,400, roughly. Like that sort of thing where I'm not just having a tiny bit, and then a big chunk, or a great big thing at the beginning, and then a tiny bit, and a tiny bit. I want it to be balanced so that it sort of evens out throughout the day, for me anyway. Yours may be different. We're always checking out new things, so this might be entirely wrong, and they may say, oh no, you need to have a big breakfast in the morning, burn off throughout the day, and have a little lunch and then a little supper. Maybe that's where that Mediterranean diet thing comes from, or the grazing throughout the day. There's a whole bunch of different opinions on it. But for me right now, I'm just sort of curious as to where the majority of my calories are coming from, and I'm pretty sure it's at the end of the day, and everything I'm looking at is confirming that, which is not good, because then that sort of leads to I'm going to binge and then sit, and I kind of don't want to do that. But my schedule may be changing in the next couple of months, so I won't be as late coming home, which will be a little bit nicer because I can get more things done and, maybe save the end of the day workout thing for that, so that I'm going to bed after it, so I can... Because during the day, you're sort of exercising because you're walking around, you're doing stuff, and you're moving. But it'd be nice to give it a little bit of a boost just before going to bed. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. You never know. But anyway, that is my week in a nutshell. So we're starting up on week 30 tomorrow. And I'll have a much better idea as to what my sugar levels are. I can show you that. And I have a really bad feeling that it's going to be way over what it should be. I'm going to go by MyFitnessPal. I don't know how accurate they're going to be tracking some of the stuff, including the drink I had last night. I know there's a lot of sugar and alcohol. I don't know if it's going to track it or not, but we shall see. Anyway, in the meantime, though, I'm going to leave this video here. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. And in the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.